Hello, hello, folks. How are you? Can you hear me? Let me check. Um, Sorry, I'm feeling quite sick today. Um, Hello, hello. Can you please confirm if the audio is okay? Um, Hello, hello, Sudhi. Sudhi. Okay, I will tell you. I will call you Sudhi. How you doing? How's been the week? And team. Hello, and mates Vikram. Hello, hello. Naveen. Hello. I see some first time players here. Well, or first time commenters. Um, Usually I remember the names of the people who comment. Hello. Audio is good. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I see there's a bunch of people here today. Really happy to see you. Again, sorry for the voice. Quite down today, but I'll try to make it best as possible. Um, how many challenges done? So yeah, for the people who's for the developers, how it's been uh, today? It's been good. Are you working in something special? Want to share? We'll wait a couple of minutes so people can join. Some people sometimes are distracted and they usually come a couple 3 minutes later. So meanwhile, I'll read the comments, see if there's something. Great. Hey, hello. Oh, great. How you doing? Great. Okay, let's see. Hello, hello. Hello, Musa. Musa, it's an Arabic name, right? Where are you joining from? Because in the last sessions, I had a lot of people from India. Yeah, there was someone from Africa, South Africa. Um, yeah, I'm good. Thank you, Ibe Khan. Ibe Khan. Okay, Khan, I think it's Indian, if I'm not wrong. Hey, hello from Rwanda. How's the weather there? It's hot now or cold? Here in Spain, it's quite cold. Benin Republic. Wow, Benin Republic. Okay, I'm from Pakistan. Oh, okay, sorry. Um, okay, so let me get started. So once people get can join, we can just recap a little bit. Nigeria. Hey, nice to see people. What time is it there? I think it's probably 1 hour difference from Spain. So I have family in Morocco, and I think the time zone is quite similar. Um, I'm from India. India. Okay, great. Welcome. Nice to see many people from India. Really compromised. So that's pretty cool. Hello, I'm Fuad from Nigeria. Okay, it's okay. It's 9 a.m. Okay, it's same as Spain. It's 9 a.m. Also from India, Southern California. Oh, I'll be in Boston in 3 4 days. I'll be in Boston making a road trip to New York, Philadelphia, and Washington with some friends. I've been in California in September. I was in San Diego, San Francisco, Las Vegas. Well, Las Vegas is not California, but and in Los Angeles, we did another road trip. So pretty cool. Um, okay, let me share. Uh, okay, first of all, is let me turn a little bit down the volume. Let's see, so you can hear me. It's okay. You hear me? Okay, if the music bothers you, I can just turn it off. I can hear it really. um, down, but I don't know, on Twitch and YouTube. Okay, so first of all, just a little presentation on me, and let's get. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, first of all, just a small presentation. I'm Naufal. A lot of people already know me. Well, it's Naufal, but yeah, I just wrote sometimes Naufal, like, because it's more easy to let's say, because when there's AOU, there's some people that don't know exactly how to pronounce it, so I just put Naufal. I live in Barcelona, and I'm currently organizing an indie hackathon here in the city. So let's see how it goes, and that's it. That's just a small presentation. Well, and actually, I'm a coach at the Metro League Hacking. That's why I'm here. Okay. So welcome to Agile Methodologies. The stream, the session is called Agile Project Management, but it will be just the same. So um, we'll talk about some agile methodologies, why to use them, how to use them. Because as you all know, this is the career Global Hack Week. A lot of people from you that I've known from other streams are looking for a job. There's some people that are currently working in a company, maybe a small company, and they want to move to a bigger company. So sometimes the working methods are different. Well, the working methods, because basically I've been in companies of 15 people, and I've been in companies with 1,200 people. So there's much more teams. Okay, so what is agile means? Here we have the first question. Basically, agile is something that moves quickly. Now you will understand. We will just get into it. Um, but yeah, thanks for asking. So um, so yeah, the working methods is really different because in small companies usually you have like a developers team, a design team, a marketing team, and that's it. Well, in some of them, not all of them. When I say small company, I say like a startup or maybe a 20-25 people company. And when I say big company is like 200, 300, 500. Um, um, yeah, exactly. Like frequent deliveries of product. But we'll get into that just on the next slide. It's basically a description on what is agile, what it means. So yeah, thank you. So yeah, when you work in a small company, it's not the same as working on Google, for example. They have thousands of employees, hundreds of teams, a lot of things to do. So the working methods are not the same at all. So yeah, we'll be explaining just differences, making some examples, how different companies work, how you can work with maybe in a hackathon with your team. Well, you can work with Kanban. We'll explain that in a while because it's more easy to apply in a hackathon because it's short time and just to get things done. And there's other methodologies like Scrum, probably you heard of. We'll be in depth in that soon. It's basically just with a long period. So so yeah, we'll get into that differences more in depth to see how you can work. And since it's the career week and a lot of you are working or looking for a job or looking for a change or whatever, knowing like the basics and how to work with different agile methodologies, it will help you definitely like thousand times, and it's a great advantage to get into a new company and know how to work or how to handle the meetings of project management or the week management, whatever. Okay, so yeah. So the question, this will be just the let's say I'll make just a small points what we will be covering today. First of all, what is Agile? I'll explain what is Agile, why does it exists, why companies use it, everything. So, and that goes with the second point, that how does it work? We'll explain how it works, how we can, get into it. Why we use Agile? Okay, so why we use Agile? We can just say, hey, you do this, I do this, you know. But that's in a hackathon, it works because you're three, four member teams, three, four different teams. So so it's like, okay, you do the back end, I do the front end, you make the API, I make the integration, whatever. It's more easy in a hackathon because it's just a really, really small project, and it's more, you know. But when you have clients, you have a big project, you have a startup, you have, hundreds or thousands of clients, that doesn't work because it's a mess. Probably in a startup, just like at the beginning when there's two people, maybe it could work, but once you get more employees, never works. Okay, so waterfall versus agile. Okay, so we will get into these different two methods. Okay, so agile is, we're going to explain soon. And someone on the chat said it's frequent delivery of product. Okay, so waterfall, basically it's a delivery of the product, but not frequent. Okay, so it's like, okay, first design, then implementation, blah 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 blah, testing, and then we release the product or the software or whatever. So you get like, it's like a waterfall. Okay, so here you have the planning, here we have blah blah blah, you have the design, here you have the implementation, the testing, and everything done, and then you release. There's a lot of problems with that because you can be like 4 months on the project and be on the testing part, and then we can hear you. Can you hear me? Um, someone, can you hear me? Can please someone confirm really quick? Um, yeah, I had the settings. Okay. Okay, so Betty, I think you got some question. Okay. If Betty, if you can hear me, uh, I think you meant can't. I don't know, but if you can hear me, uh, thumbs up. If not, I see other people have the audio okay, so maybe it's some configuration. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. I didn't want to continue like with some people not hearing. Sorry for that pause. Okay, great, thank you. So yeah, what I was saying, waterfall. Let's say you're 5 months into the project. Well, not the project, but the development release. Let's say, and you're on the testing part, and there's something that the client wants to change. Okay, like it's a really urgent change. You need to go back into the development, just, and then you have to go to the development, well, design again to see if some parts of the code will broke, because when you make changes, you have to take into account all the things that are working. So that's why we do like all these testing, integration tests, unit testing. I did a workshop of an introduction to testing. I think it was um, August. I think probably in YouTube you can find that one. In which I think they're well, in a certain time they disappear. Well, they delete, so they're being deleted. But in YouTube you can find them all. So you can go to the introduction or just to another video on YouTube to get an introduction on testing. So that's why testing is really, really important, because it's just when you make, about like this CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous development thing. That's basically, just in a really, really short description. Probably it's kind of wrong to make it that short, but just you can understand it really quick for the people that are not into it. Basically, that means that let's say I make a change. I have a branch. I make a change, and I want to upload the changes. That what it does. It tests all the code, like it builds all the code, tests every function, makes integration tests between all the different parts of the product or the software, and says, okay, this change has been made. Let's see if this thing breaks if we implement it with this one and this one and this one. Obviously, you make that tests. So you, when you make changes in a project, like not just a small change, like change a function thing or whatever, but if you, I don't know, maybe change a class from static to whatever. Okay, let's say you need to take into account all the references that class or that function has. You need to take them all into account. So with your change, everything that worked before is still working. Okay, because you don't broke anything. So okay, just a small difference between waterfall and agile, so you can understand what waterfall means, because some people maybe don't know what exactly waterfall means in this scenario. Okay, so we talk about the Agile Manifesto. We will see that, and some Agile methodologies, and then we will get into Scrum and Kanban. Okay, because they are the most popular ones. There are a bunch of them of Agile methodologies, but the ones I've used in every company that I've been to is Scrum and Kanban. Okay, so that's probably the base ones, and they're most used. And I wanted to get centered into these ones because probably once you get into a company, they will ask if you worked with Scrum, Kanban, or whatever. Okay, so yeah, if we have time, I will just explain some more. Do you have any question now? It's just an introduction. We'll get into a lot more details. So if you got lost with some terms here or whatever, no worries. It's just the any question. Okay, so I love the second principle where it says that change is a chance to innovate. Yeah, in everyday life. Yeah, yeah, basically that can apply to a project, to your daily basis, whatever. So yeah, no questions. Mm, okay, I see there's no questions. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, okay, so Skiddy, hello Skiddy. um I have agile software development as a subject in current semester and I haven't studied it yet. Okay, so probably um you'll you'll do that. Well, actually, it's applied to software development, but let's say okay, just a quick example of another use instead of just software development. Do you know, for example, if you have a problem, let's say you buy something from a website and you have a problem and you want to contact support. Once you contact, let's say sometimes you just have a form, like let's say an airline, okay, let's say Delta Airlines, and you have a problem with the baggage or whatever, okay, and you just send a form, your name, flight number, the reservation number, what's your problem, blah blah blah. Okay, so you hit send, and then you get a confirmation on the mail saying, hey, we received your request, we will get back with you very soon, whatever. So that, oh, I don't know if Delta, but I know a lot of support contact companies have like this huge. Have you seen a backlog before? It's basically, we'll see that soon, but just a small recap. But basically, it's a huge dashboard with different columns, like to do, in progress, whatever. And once you open a ticket, for example, let's say for a refund of a baggage supply, let's say, that goes into a dashboard of the team of support. So they have like all these different requests, and they can each one of them can start working on a different request. So they don't just get like 1,000 mails, whatever. So that's another application, for example, in this case for Kanban, because they are more independent tasks. We'll get into that soon. No worries if you don't understand that much. Um, so yeah, basically that's it. So it's used not just in software, but maybe in IT support or whatever. Okay, so what's agile? Okay, so basically okay. Oh, sorry, I was going to sneeze. Okay, so what's agile? Here we have just a quick picture so you can see the difference. Okay, I see a question. I have experienced Scrum in a startup, but there were have experienced Scrum in a startup, but there were modif there we modified it to not include the Scrum Master. It's okay not to include Scrum Master. Okay, so okay, I've seen that before in some companies. We'll get into that, into the Scrum Master, the product owner, everything, just in a moment, and you will get the point. If not, I'll you can ask, because if I start answering this question, I give some hints to some people that actually don't know how the different roles work. So I really want to get from the beginning to the end on that. But good question. I'll keep it noted. Okay, so here we have a picture. Okay, it says, "What is agile? Incrementally instead of all at once." Okay, just really simple. Do you remember the waterfall that I explained before? It was That's basically in all at once. Okay, so we'll see a picture in a while about. Let's see if I can. Oops, not this one. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so let's say this is a waterfall. Okay, we'll get into the last slide. Just want to compare you. So this is what a waterfall looks like. Okay, so you have the requirements analysis at the beginning. You have a meeting with the team, with the let's say with the client, with whatever, and you say, okay, these are the requirements that we need. We need all these features for the platform so it can work well. Now we have a lot of data from new clients, so we get a lot of, let's say, timeouts on the queries because the database is not the same. It has grown exponentially, so we have a lot of specific errors, let's say timeouts for the queries because they're not optimized. Okay, let's get into the design. Okay, then we design all the future or the futures, whatever, and then we code them. Integration to see if everything works well. The testing, as I told you before, there's a lot of testing. Um, if it's functional or integration tests or whatever, basically you have to test everything with everything. So once you deploy the code, it works in all the casuistics. Because sometimes, sorry, sometimes you change something for a specific casuistic, but you didn't take into account another casuistics that other clients have. When I say clients, I mean it can be clients or it can be users. Okay, let's say Instagram. Okay, let's say Instagram makes a change on I don't know, on the feed for the person for the users, but in a personal use. But they don't take into account like business accounts. Okay, they just take into account personal accounts, and once they deploy the changes, the business accounts start having some failures, whatever. Let's say with Twitter, well, X, it's called now. So let's say X makes a change for I don't know, for free users. I don't know if there's free users on X now. I don't know what they did with the pricing and all that stuff. But let's say with Twitter of before, let's say they make a change on the ads for the free users account, and that start affecting um, the users with paid accounts, and they start seeing ads. Let's say so that's messed up because that people are paying to not see ads. Um, free users, I'm listening. Okay, so that's if you make like let's say a change on the ads algorithm, and that you don't take into account like on the tests all the paying users, you'll be showing ads to paying users, so they'll be mad, they'll just unsubscribe, whatever. So that's quite messed up. So basically, this is a waterfall. Okay, so you can just get the image real quick. Waterfall. It's basically when you start this process. All this process can take. Let me see if I can have a pointer. I don't think so. Okay, no worries. Let's say all this process requirements, design, code, integration, test, deploy, maybe it can take a month, maybe it can take 3 months, maybe it can take a year, maybe it can take 4 years, whatever. Okay, so the problem with this is let's say we are on the integration part, and the client comes, let's say it's a consultancy or whatever, the client comes and says, okay, it's been 5 months of development, well, design code, we are on the integration, but the changes are requested like 4 months ago. I don't need them anymore because we don't have that clients. We blah blah blah, whatever. So now you need to go back to the requirement analysis to see what has been done, what is needed to be revert. Design again. Well, design the parts that you need, and but if you delete some parts, you need to take into account a bunch of new of other parts because a lot of times they're dependent. So now you need to go back to the code, integration, tests, and then deploy. Okay, so a process that should be taking like 4 months now takes 6 months because you needed to go back. So what Agile wants to do, we will get more into detail. It's basically something like this. It's the same process. Let's say just in a quick, like it's not the same process, but okay, let's say it's kind of the same process, but just in small tasks. Okay, like every week or whatever, and then requirement analysis, blah blah blah. So if in the integration you need, let's say a change, that change has been done like 3 days ago, maybe, or maximum 5 days ago, because probably maybe it's a week or it's every 2 weeks, the sprint or whatever. So you just need to go 5 days ago and make new changes so you don't lose like 2 months or 3 months or 4 months or whatever. So yeah, and that's kind of exhausting, just to go back and back again. Let's go back into this picture. What is agile? Okay, so now you understand the incremental part and all at once. Okay, so now you see the difference between these two pictures. That's what I wanted. So basically, let's say agile is a time boxed iterative approach to deliver, let's say, software or I don't know, yeah, whatever. Let's say a machine learning model or whatever. It's a software, but okay, let's say. So and it aims like to build software incrementally. Okay, so from start from the start of the project instead of like trying to deliver it all at once near the end, because that makes people more stressed. You make more um, let's say failures, errors, yeah, errors. So so basically how it works, as you can see in the picture, it breaks the project down into just little bits of, let's say, user functionalities, And these features or user functionalities are called stories. We will get into that more in detail. So now you have like really small features, and you have called stories, and you can prioritize them and say, okay, this one is more important than. So let's see. So in a waterfall process, it's linear and can affect all the dependent branches, but in Agile, it follows different structure. Yeah, basically in Agile, what you pretend to do is just break the, let's say you have all this development with all different functionalities, okay? So in a waterfall, let's say you have five functionalities, okay? Let's say it's a new website and you want to register users, give admin permissions to users, be able, well, let the user post a picture. Let's say it's an Instagram thing, or let's say it's a copy of Instagram. Okay, so you have five functionalities: registration of the user, the login, upload picture, make a comment, and I don't know, upload, make a live stream. So in a waterfall, basically you'll just get all these five features, start developing it, developing them. Sorry, my English sometimes goes to Spanish, sometimes goes to. So basically, yeah, you have all these functionalities you want to make, and you start working on them. So maybe one of them needs to be changed because now you don't want users to be able to post pictures, but maybe just videos. It's a nonsense, but let's say. So now you need to go back, redesign the system, take into account all the dependent things that uploading a picture has. Let's say, yeah, let's say you have some dependencies and you need to go back. But with Agile, what you do is, let's say every one of these five functionalities, it's a story. Okay, so now you need to register the user, let them log in, upload a picture, make a comment, and then upload well, make a stream. Okay, so now you just sit. There's a meeting every sprint. We will get into the what the sprint means, but basically, um, it's a meeting that you have, let's say, and you say, okay, we need to develop these five functionalities, um, and let's prioritize them. Okay, so first of all, you cannot prioritize making a live stream because you need the user logged in, and you need a user being registered to make a live stream. Well, so and then let's say first of all will be user registration, obviously, and then the user login. So now we have upload a picture, make a comment, in a live stream. Okay, which one of those will go first? So upload the pic, make a comment. You cannot prioritize that because you don't have a picture or you don't have a video or whatever. So first of all will be upload a picture. So user registration will be the first one, the priority number one. The second one will be make the login system or whatever, so the user can sign in. And then you upload a picture because to make a comment, you need a picture or a video. So upload a picture will be the third priority. And then make a comment to that picture, okay? And then be allow the users to make live streams. So in this case, it depends obviously on the product because maybe you want to be able to upload pictures but not make comments, and implement the I don't know, no comments. So there's no comments on the social platform. It doesn't make sense of on how social networks are done. But let's say you don't want comments. You just want first user to be able to upload a picture, make a live stream, no comments, no one saying nothing. It's just the live stream and that's it. So you can change the priorities and make the comments the last one. So yeah, basically that's it. So, and in the all at once, you just develop everything, and just make sure they work all of them and deploy all of them. So, as you can see, there's some drawbacks on that. Okay, I see the question. Okay, so yeah, as Zaid said, in waterfall, any changes made in upper cycles can modify all the below ones. Yeah, basically, I couldn't explain it better. Do you get the idea, the point? If anyone has some remaining questions, please ask. Don't hesitate. So, okay. Omar says in Waterfall we deliver the final project at once. Yeah, basically, you just make everything, deliver everything. It could be fine for a small project because just because for example for each release of these, like all these planifications and all that stuff, you need time. You need different members. You need to structure it really well to start making something stories, and then the sprints and everything, it takes time. So if it's just a small let's say a website that you're making for a client, you just have a small login, a small thing or whatever, you can make it a waterfall. It's still be used not in big companies. So they now a lot of them that they didn't use like agile methodologies, they start using them because they are far more better and efficient. That's the key. uh, okay, let's say in short projects, waterfall model is best, but in long time projects, agile model best because of frequent updated in client feedback. Yeah, that's it. That's true. Well, it's just as I said, if it's a small project, you don't need to make a lot of things. Just a small thing. Go with waterfall, and that's it. So you got the okay. Let's see. I have a question here of Hassan. Am I right in understanding that now all industries will be use agile? Yeah, in my opinion, at least all the companies I've worked on, they used it. Even one of them that had I don't know, like 25 employees or something, they've used it because it's more effective. And if you work with clients, like giving like all these responsive updates to new features, because you can just keep uploading features, let's say every week. Okay, at least where I work now, we deliver features once a week. So you work, then deploy, and you get like more feedback, and you can change the product more often, or the product or the features or whatever. So yeah. Uh, let's see, Nitish. Basically, we can say that breaking the project into segments and prioritize them to make them individually and can change anything without affecting others. Am I right? Yeah, yeah, basically. But that's where the planning comes. So when you make the planning, okay, um, okay, yeah. Well, with this one, we'll get better. So once you get the planning, okay, um, you need to get a lot of things into account. So the priorities, as I said before, are really important. To see, for example, let's say a client start having problems with the login, and you want to implement a feature. So you first fix the login system or whatever you need to make, because there's some clients that are being affected. So it's not just features, but bug fixes too. So there's some bug fixes. Maybe if you have 2,000 clients or users, let's say 2 million users, and five of them are having problems with something. So, and then you have a future that will affect like 100,000 people. They will be start using it. It's kind of sad to say, let that five people have the problem, just for a week more, a couple of weeks more. But yeah, it's better having 100,000 users using a new feature. Maybe it's a paid feature, that you get money for that than solving a problem that only 5 people from 2 million have. So, because actually, there's a lot of things going on with that. Let's say you have 5 people having the problem, but it could be just they work. Let's say an area, for example, here in Spain, there are some areas or towns. Well, not towns, but small villages that normally don't have a Wi-Fi access, just a really small signal. Maybe that these 5 people live in the forest and they don't have internet activity access or whatever. So it should be that. So it's really important, and you can say how companies know if the user is having an error, because sometimes, at least me, I don't go like using an app and saying, "Oh, okay, this thing doesn't work." I will send a mail to, let's say, Instagram, saying, "Hello, Instagram. I've tried to log in, and the thing it's load. It loads really slow. Can you check it? Because they won't, sorry, read the email." So what companies have is basically alert logs. So once you, let's say, you have the structure of an application, a big application or medium. So you have an API for the backend and you have the front end. So let's say I want to go to a website. Let's say Amazon. I try to make a purchase, and when I click order, that that interaction sends a request to the API to make the order. Okay, let's say the API returns an error, an exception, or whatever. So that endpoint with all that body, the user who made the request, and all that stuff is stored in a database saying, okay, this endpoint had this error, okay, with this user, with this body trying to do this, whatever. So that what it does, now you have a database with in its well, a table in a database called alert log, let's say, with a bunch of endpoints and error retrievals, exceptions, and all that stuff from different users. And that's why it's not because they check each one of them. But let's say there's an endpoint called, I don't know, Amazon slash API slash version one slash users slash login that having like 5,000 issues every hour. Okay, so now you have a problem because it's not just one user. You're getting all these errors like 1,000 times, 5,000 times an hour. So that's a problem. So now you can work on that task because you can prioritize that even if the users didn't didn't even send you a mail, but you have that in points that are having all these failures, these exceptions, and you can work on that. So so yeah, that's basically how companies work and, for example, and improve their endpoints or whatever. Okay. Uh, Okay, let's see if you have a question here. We can share. Same problem. Okay, so let's say, yeah, you got the point. Yeah, but then this is the same problem we are facing in waterfall methods. Now, this you mean that I think you mean this question can affect other components, or it depends the future or the building. No, not this one. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, I know what you mean. So you say, let's say waterfall is you have a problem in the, let's say the last part. Okay, let's say before deploying, you have a problem and you need to go back. Okay, but it's the same thing that in agile, because in this case, let's say you have all this review. Okay, so sprint basically it's let's say you have a sprint every 2 weeks. So basically, there's a sprint planning, then implementation, the review, and all that stuff. Here is where you get all these priorities and where to what to work on this week, or let's say this week, just a week. And then you have the sprint retrospective that basically you see what it went wrong, what it ran, what's wrong, what's good, whatever, and you start. So you can say, okay, this is the same as waterfall, because waterfall, let's say the review is the last part, the testing, let's say, and you need to go back. Yeah, but the waterfall, you have like 5, 10, let's say 20 features. You have 20 implementations that needs to be done with a lot of dependencies, a lot of things. But in this case, a sprint in a week, probably you can work just in, instead of 20, maybe just in 2 features, you know? So the scale is not the same, because in one you have like the whole project, like 20 features, 25 dependencies, 1,000 things. And in this case, with Agile, basically, you just have all this 5 month problem and you split it into weeks. So if you have a problem in a week, yeah, you have a problem. It's the same as waterfall. You need to go back, you need to improve it, but it's not the same improving. Like let's say in a matter of code lines, it's not the same improving, let's say, 1,000 lines of code than 25,000 lines of code. So the scale is not the same. So I get your point. I know what you mean, Nitish. Um, Hope you understand it. If not, you can ask. Did you get the difference between these two? Uh, let's see. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Um, yeah, they did a great lookout. Nitish, did you get the difference? You have any question? Okay, we'll keep going. Okay, so this is oops. Okay, so why use agile methods? We did a recap, a great recap on how they used the waterfall system, the agile system, the differences, why to choose one and another. I see there's some questions. What will be? Just give me some time to explain why this thing. Well, why it's used and how the good and bad things, and then we answer the questions. I just don't want to get missed, with the questions and lose a lot of time. Well, not lose, but we will be stopping like, let's say, 15 in 10 minutes and answer all the questions and then continue. Is that okay for you? If you have any urgent question and because you need to leave or something, just tell me. I read the questions anyway, so let put urgent. I need to leave in the question. I'll answer it at the moment. Is that okay for you? Oops, oops, no, no. Okay. It's okay. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, you can ask. I will recap all the questions in a moment, so no worries. Just ask. Okay, so why to use agile methods? I want to just point some four basic points. Uh, as we said, improve customer involvement, because it's not the same thing that let's say a customer that needs a website tells you, okay, I need like these 25 features, all these things. I want the website with the login and the search bar, and I want to make this and all this stuff, and the user can manage their clients and all that stuff. Okay, so now you have a, let's say, a meeting with the client of, let's say, 10-hour meeting. Okay, where you take notes, the client explains you everything, like this golden thing, and they want all this in their website, and then you start working on the project, and you probably get like just a message from the client in a month, let's say. Okay, so every month the client sends you a message, hey, how it's going, and you, okay, it's going cool. Even if it's not going cool, you just, okay, guys, we need to make this quick. But let's say, okay, so the interaction and the customer involvement, it's not the same at all, because with Agile, every week, for example, every 2 weeks, the client can see the changes, can test the changes, say, okay, I just tested this small change you made. I didn't like it. Can you change it, please? So you get that into the next sprint, sorry, and you say, okay, it's not a future, but let's say it's an improvement or a book fix or whatever. So that what it does, and I'm going to the second point, is to increase the quality of the code, because it's not the same as getting like a huge project done, and then the user sorry, the client needs to test like 25,000 different things, because probably they will request a change that will take more than actually the future. It will be, okay, I don't like this management system of the user I have in the admin dashboard. Can you change it? Okay, so that's a mess, because now you need to go back to the table, restructure all this user management thing, and it's a mess. Okay, it's possible to do, and it's more expensive, because probably it's not the same like getting these small feedbacks and making the changes. That what it makes. I'm going to the third point again. Sorry, to the third point, that it's simplify releases. Okay, so instead of all these bunch once, you just make small changes, and a release every week or every 2 weeks. It depends on the user and what he wants. If there's a lot of changes, there's small changes, whatever. So as I said, it's more expensive, probably, because if you work, let's say you want to build a project and you want to make it waterfall, let's say, and you contact let's say what it's called, consultancy, like Deloitte or Everest and these companies, and you said, okay, just make all this, and then they give you a release once in, let's say, in 3 months, and you want to make changes. You need to pay them to make the changes. Probably, if you, it depends on the contracts you have, but probably you need to pay them, and it will be more expensive because it's more hours, more people. McKinsey. Okay, I didn't know that. It's a U.S. one or it's international. I didn't know that. Thank you. But Baratok, Baratote. Sorry. So yeah, probably depends on the contract you had, but probably will be more expensive because now you need to make more changes. It takes more time, more employees, more hours, and you have to pay that hours. So it's more expensive. You have less quality. The releases are more complex because releasing like a 25 future thing or a huge project, it's really, really risky. That's the fourth point. With Agile, you drive down the risk. One, because as I said, the risk of making like 25 futures and wanting to release them, probably you'll have a couple of calls with the client, but they cannot test it. They cannot. They can just see what you've done. Maybe just make a small test. Say, okay, I like it, but probably when it's released, there will be more problems, bug fixes, a lot of things that they wouldn't take into account. So it's more risky. So and with Agile, basically you just uh, get down the risk, let's say, and because maybe it's a week of development or 2 weeks of development, and go back or fix things, it's quite more easy. So yeah. So okay. Oops. Okay. Basically, yeah. Here you have some advantages and disadvantages, as I explained before. Um, so yeah, is that okay? Okay. You have any question? Again, the advantages are the same as before. the customer is more satisfied because the changes are continuous, let's say, and rapid, and they have more useful software more often, because you make the change, they use it, they make another change, they use it. They don't have to wait like 2 months. I say 5 months because it's just a saying, okay? It can be just as little as 2 months or maybe a month, but you get the idea. It's not the same a month than 4 weeks. So that's the idea. Uh, so yeah, the more advantages. I don't know. Let's say you have more face-to-face conversations with the client, and probably you get more ideas on new implementations. They can say, okay, we don't need this anymore, but that thing probably went into the sprint, so it's maybe 2 day development, as I said, and it's not a month development, so you're not losing that much. It will be cheaper because maybe a developer just spend a couple of hours working on that, and that are not a month. Let's say it's not the same. Um, so yeah, you there's some disadvantages too. Okay, it's not all gold. One of the disadvantages, well, just in case of some, for example, softwares or whatever. Um, well, especially the large ones, it's difficult, for example, to get the effort required at the beginning of the software development cycle. Okay, let me explain. If you have a huge project and you want to work like in small segments, probably the whole development life cycle, um, you don't get the difficulty at the beginning of what you're building. Okay, so because it will be just small changes. Let's say that small changes add up, and now you need to make a huge change or a big change, future, let's say, but now you have a bunch of code that at the beginning you didn't take into account to make all, let's say, this thing, okay, the Instagram example, okay, with a waterfall, let's call it waterfall, okay, with a waterfall method. Sorry, I'm sorry. With a waterfall method, you get all these features and then you just release them, but you took into account all these things, okay? But if you make it with Agile, okay, it's cool. Now you have the login. Now you have the registration. Now you have the login. You have the pictures. You have the comments, and you have the live stream. Okay, but once you make, let's say, once you're working on the last thing, let's say the live stream, and the comment section, do you know the live streams? You have all this comment section. So maybe it's not working the same because instead of just getting the comments every, let's say, 2 minutes, just let's say, okay, now it's all real time, but let's say every 2 minutes, because the comments, you don't get that much comments in a minute or two. Well, if you're a celebrity or a big a big person, you get like thousands each second, but probably you won't notice like like 5,000 comments in the last 2 minutes. But just let's say, let's put it that way. Now in the live stream, you cannot just print the comments every 2 minutes because it's a live stream. You need to make them real time, so it's more interactive and all that stuff. So now you cannot use a comment section, so you need to make it you need to make, instead of every 2 minutes comment update, now you need to make it real time. So at the beginning you wanted to use the comment section, the same comment system in the live streams and in the pictures, but now you can, because one of them just updates every 2 minutes, and one of them has to be real time because it's a live stream. So what you can do is go back and then change the comment section, and instead of every 10 minutes, make it real time too. So now you can use it in the live stream. Okay, so that, going back and changing the comment section, it's not that optimal, okay, because you're going back making the same work. And in a waterfall project you probably took that into account at the beginning and said, okay, we need to make a comment section, we need to make a live stream section with a comment section. Let's make it the same, and let's make the comments of the pictures real time and the live stream real time, so we can use the comment system in both parts, okay, not making two different. You get the idea. You get the idea of the disadvantage. So you're not taking into account all the things because you don't know what it's going to be like 5 months from now, okay, or 4 months, or all the things the client wants, because it's more interactive. You make the change, they like it, they ask for another thing. It's cool, but it has some disadvantages. Okay, is that cool? And another thing, for example, I see, for example, a disadvantage in this case, probably if you're starting in a company, is that only, let's say, senior programmers are capable or have the ability or the permission of taking the kind of decisions required um, or during the development, let's say, process. Okay, so you don't have like junior developers or programmers taking these decisions. Well, they can take these decisions with a supervision of a senior or whatever. So that's because probably you with an agile you cannot as a junior you cannot plan let's say what tasks to do because you don't have that much experience to look at the future. But it's just an experience thing. Probably once you get more experience you can take this kind of decisions, but you need probably to check it with your manager or let's say manager or supervisor or whatever. Okay, any question? I see. Nitish, any questions that I will ask at the end? Let's see. Someone has any question? Are you getting the points? Please, if someone is getting lost or something, we'll make an example of, for example, a Kanban dashboard, how it works, how to work on it, so you can see. Okay, so okay, I'll try not to. Okay, we have here something. In a nutshell, Agile is more effective at deadline with, sorry, dealing with errors and correcting them on time as compared to waterfall. Would it would take longer to fix those errors? Am I right? Yeah, yeah, basically, yeah. Because, for example, as I said before, in a waterfall, once you make a change, for example, it's not the same making a change in a week development than in 2 months or even a month. Because all the team has spent hours and hours and hours writing code, developing, designing, testing, and all that stuff, and now you need to make a change. But in Agile, if you want to make a change and you just have a week development code base, probably it will not take that much. Probably will take a day or a couple of days to fix this bug, and the bug probably will be smaller because the futures were smaller because it's every week future, not like 20 futures at once. So yeah. Thanks for asking again. See, you asked that before. I didn't see it. Thank you. Uh, Yeah, okay. Thank you, Nitish. You can keep. We'll be continuing and making some example, okay? So don't leave, just get the points, and probably you can work on that later. Okay, as I showed you before, this is the waterfall. Now we have the idea, and the agile will be something like this, okay? So now you have requirements, design, blah, 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 all. And here you have okay, so let's say the vision iterations, basically, let's call it iterations or sprint or whatever. So yeah, so the first thing is the yellow. Okay, design. Well, sorry, the the detailed requirements. Okay, so you have the meeting with all the requirements, all the details. Now you need to design and then analyze everything, how it will be done, everything. Implementation and developer testing. Okay, so the blue one here at the top is where you start implementing testing if everything works with unit testing code, implementation, integration tests, whatever. And then it goes to a Q&A, sorry, QA, um, acceptance testing team. So they can just test it on a, let's say, not a real environment because it will be pre-production, but yeah, they can just test everything and say, okay, this works, this not, this whatever. In the best case scenario, everything works fine and everything just goes into deployment. Okay, if something's wrong and it cannot go to deployment, then it goes back to evaluation and prioritizing. Okay, so it depends on the acceptance tests and all that testing that the teams do. There's so yeah, there's this kind um uh of decision of going to the deployment or evaluating the again the and prioritize all these different things. Okay, is there any better model than Agile or Scrum presently? Actually, Agile, they're called agile methodologies, but there's some of them. We'll talk about another one called Kanban. It's better. For example, Kanban. It's better for independent tasks. Like, okay, let's say you work in a hackathon. Okay, there's a bunch of tasks you need to do, and everyone can do them. So you just put all the tasks, different tasks, and everyone once it's free or have time, just take a task and make it. Okay, so I will just get into that really soon. Okay, so there's the Agile Manifesto. Basically, okay, the picture is not mine, but basically are some principles, and we explained that before, some of them, but it's basically a manifesto. You know, just some not rules, but let's say some keys of mm, let's say you get you want to make something and you just put like the rules and the keys when you want to achieve everything. So that's basically the Agile Manifesto. It's made by some people. I don't know the names exactly, but doesn't matter. The thing that matters is that it works. So yeah, quick recap: people and interaction over processes and tools. Okay, so you have more interaction with the client. You get more ideas. You can change more things. You know, and over process and tools. You know, just getting like having like to planify everything just without talking with the client, getting the requirements and making all that kind of changes. Another one is working software over comprehensive documentation. Okay, so basically, that's because you make small changes and you can improve the software more often and better. So it's not the same as working in a huge project, making up a bunch of the documentation that probably a lot of people won't even read. So yeah, you get small changes. You can get with the client and talk with them over comprehensive documentation because that's useful. It's don't get me wrong, that's really important, but it's more important to get some code working and the client satisfied and having all that stuff. So the other one, customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Okay, this is the same as before. One of them, you have the client. I don't know. Depends on the contract you have with them. Probably they will pay you for the whole process or pay you all just the hours you work on the futures. And the other thing is contract negotiation. When you make a big project, you need to negotiate the contract and then the hours you need to work on and all that stuff. So you make a waterfall project, waterfall and wonderful. Okay. Okay. So yeah, the other thing is responding to change over following a plan. Okay, so if for example, let's say you have a waterfall project and you have a planning, let's say in 5 months I need to deliver this, in 10 months I need to deliver this, whatever. And it's not the same as the quality is not the same as responding to changes. Let's say you make a change, and 1 week after, a client tells you, "Okay, this change you made, I don't like it because um, I don't know, it just takes too much, and the design I don't like it." You can just go back and change it, have the client more satisfied, and respond to change, then following a plan saying, okay, in a month I need to develop this, in a couple of months this, in 3 months this, in 4 months this, everything. So that's okay. Following a plan. It's not always good. Okay, so if you have a plan of doing X and something changes, you need to change the plan too, because you cannot keep doing this. You can keep the same plan with a different thing. Okay, so that's really important. Okay, yeah, basically. So there's some more points, but these are the most important ones that I could think about. Okay, different agile methodologies. Okay, as we said, there's a bunch of different ones. We have Scrum. Okay, we'll talk really into detail in a bit about Scrum and Kanban. Okay, these two are the most important ones in my opinion, as I saw in all different companies. Really important. Okay, we will get into that more in detail because probably we don't have time to see them all, and just not to make it a mess, we'll just take the important ones. Then there's extreme programming called XP. Probably you've heard about it before. um, Actually, if you're more interested, you want to know more about this extreme programming, dynamic system development method, the future driving development, whatever, you can, yeah, GitHub. Yeah, GitHub has a Kanban like future. Yeah, I think it's called they call it projects. It's project. Yeah, in its project section. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We will see that an example, but with Trello. I don't know if you know this tool. It's called Trello. We'll make an example just right now. So yeah, there's extreme programming, dynamic system development methods. If you want to learn more, just go check them. Just to just a little bit. We will talk more about Kanban and Scrum, okay? Because they're more used, they're more important, in my opinion, and in the opinion of the companies, because all of them use them. So that's I think it. I was just gonna mention Trello. Okay, yeah, Atlassian. Actually, the company I work on, we use Jira. It's really really cool, but I don't know if it's paid. They have a paid. There's another one called what it was called. Where's Con? It started with Con. Let me see. Con. Okay, never mind. Okay, so yeah, and Crystal. Okay, so let's get into the differences between Kanban and Scrum. Okay, Atlassian. Okay, yeah, it's paid. Yeah, it's paid. So yeah, I recommend some free tools if you just want to practice or you're working on an open source project. We did some open source workshops at the last Global Hack Week. Hope you get that ones. So Sorry, sorry. Okay, let's see some differences between Kanban and Scrum. Okay, I had some different points here. Okay, like roles and responsibilities. What's the differences between them? Planning and scheduling the tasks, the work process. What is the difference between Kanban and Scrum? Okay, I'll get more into detail between these two in a while. Each one of them we'll see an example, but just to some differences so you can decide which one is better in each environment. The estimation and iteration and releases, metrics, continuous improvement. Okay, so the first one will be roles and responsibilities. Hello, we have a message from Tintin. Um, Hello, MLH community. How are you? What is the session plan? Are we going to build a project app, or are we going to just talk about the Agile Scrum methodology? Thanks. Um, are you? Did you just get in? Just to make a quick recap. Basically, we are explaining some different agile methodologies, how they're used, what it means, how what's the difference between agile processes, let's say, and like a waterfall development process. And now, as we saw in the other screen, we have a lot of different agile methodologies, but we will be seeing Scrum and Kanban because they're the most important ones, the more used in companies. So, as this is the career weeks, a lot of people are looking for a job. A lot of people are joining companies, changing companies. It's really important to know a little bit more about this. Okay, so in terms of roles and responsibilities, sorry, the Scrum method basically defines specific roles. Okay, we'll see that. Someone asked, it was necessary a Scrum master. Okay, so there's different roles. We have um, Tintin, hello, can you please share the reference resource links in the discussion window panel? Which resource links do you mean? We'll be seeing an example in Trello just in a bit of Kanban. So I don't know if you mean that. Okay, so basically, yeah, you need different roles for a Scrum. Let's say process. Okay, you need the Scrum Master, the product owner, and the development team. Okay, and each one of those have some responsibilities. Okay, they are defined, so each one has a responsibility. And in the other hand, with Kanban, typically there's fewer predefined roles. It might have like a Kanban master or facilitator or manager, let's say, but the roles are often more flexible and can be adapted to the specific needs, for example, of the team or the tasks that are coming. We'll see that. Um, Hello, are you going to share the session presentation slides? Yeah, if you need them, I can share them with you in PDF. Okay. Okay, in terms of planning, the second point, planning and scheduling. In the Scrum process, let's say, we work with fixed length iterations called sprints, as I explained to you before. Usually they're 2 weeks, between 2 and 4 weeks long, depending on the project and the team you have and everything. So the team plans the work for the entire sprint. During this, it's called sprint planning. It's maybe every, let's say, 2 weeks, first Monday of every 2 weeks, or when it finishes. It depends. Sometimes it's in Thursday, whatever. Depends on the team. So, in the other hand, in Kanban, for example, we work on a continuous work flow basis. There is no fixed iteration, and work is pulled from the backlog. The backlog basically is the column where we have all the tasks we need to do. So you just take the task from the backlog, and if you can make 10 tasks a day, that's pretty great. If you can make just two, that's great. So it depends on the capacity of each member of the team. So you just take tasks. Obviously, they're prioritized because of if it's a bug or whatever. So yeah, that's the difference between the two regarding the planning and the scheduling. Okay, the work process it's quite different. Okay, so the scrum, as we explained, has like a more structured framework with let's say defined meetings or ceremonies or whatever. So we have the sprint planning, the daily stand-ups, the sprint review, the sprint retrospective. Okay, we'll explain that more in detail. And in the Kanban, in the other hand, is all obviously more flexible and continuous. You can just visualize the workflow on the Kanban board. Obviously, there's a limited WIP. It's called work in progress. So basically, you're limited to, let's say, each team of the member team, let's say, can have just two tasks at the time. Okay, so you can have like working on four tasks at the same time, because that will just get you lost. So probably it's one task, maximum two, because sometimes some tasks are blocking you. So you just take another one not to lose that time. So you're waiting maybe for a request from another team. So in terms of the change management, it's the one, two, let's say fourth point. Yeah, the fourth point. You have the change management. Okay, in the Scrum, we are more stable during the sprint, with more changes discouraged once the sprint has started. And the Kanban, in the other hand, allows for changes at any time. Okay, so it's individual tasks. They need to be get done. Books that need to be fixed. So that, let's say, it promotes more continuous let's say improvement, okay, and adaptation to the changes. And the estimations, okay, let's say the estimations you have on the time cycle, okay, in the Scrum, often as we said before, we use stories, they're called, basically are futures, let's say. And so you need to get an amount of these things done in a certain time, so it's more planned in advance. Okay, so the estimations are more, it depends on the project, but sometimes are more tight. Okay, so in the Kanban, generally it does not even require upfront estimation, and just focuses on cycle time and flow efficiency. Okay, just get things done. Um, okay, let's see. We have a question. Okay, we'll get into the questions, Tintin, in a moment. Just let me finish this section. So we just have the iterations point, and I will just get into the question. I see there's a couple of questions. Okay, so the iterations and releases, as we explained before, the Scrum has like more fixed length iterations. Okay, so you just aim to deliver a potential shippable product increment at the end of each sprint. So you just work on a task and well on the sprint, sorry, and you just get that. So the Kanban, it allows more continuous delivery and does not have like fixed iterations. Just work is released as soon as it's completed and meets the defined criteria. That's the testing, the QA part, all that stuff. Okay, so the metrics, for example, in the Scrum part, we have more fixed length. Not let's say let's say, for example, the velocity. Basically it's the amount of work completed in the sprint are commonly used. Okay, so let's say this sprint we did all this work, so that's the metric we're using. Okay, so in Kanban, it's more focused on lead time. Okay, so basically lead time is the time it takes to complete a single task, let's say item in this case, and cycle time. So the cycle time is the time it takes for a task to move through the entire process, like from the backlog, sorry, to do in progress, review, code review, testing, whatever. So that's the metric you get. Um, Instead of the amount of things you done. So it's basically you said a task it took I don't know 25 hours to be done, 2 hours, 25 minutes. So different platforms like Jira or Confluence or whatever, they have all this metric analysis and all that stuff. So you can you just have a graph with all the tasks, different times it took, whatever. Okay, so we have a quick question here. Okay, so for the people probably maybe they're lost. What do you mean by estimation in Kanban and Scrum? Also then get iterations. Basically, estimations is the once you start the estimation time or the estimation of the tasks you want to make at the end. Okay, so yeah, basically that. And basically estimating the time, the and what you want to make at the end. Just I want to work on this. It will take this time. It will be finished at this point. That's it. So that's what I meant. And with iterations, basically, like let's say if something doesn't work, how you go back and iterate, and just fix bugs and stuff. So it just works. So okay, let's go into the Tintin. Uh, okay, so hello, which life cycle development methodology type to adapt for a work project in order to best match its own specifications, use cases, operations, scenarios, etc. Okay, so in this case, let's say, as I said before, it depends on the project size, probably, and the project size and the project team you have. So that really depends on the needs of the client in this case. So maybe it's a client that just wants a website for its shop, local shop, and you can get all these different things done and just release it in a waterfall, let's say, and method, and just give the code. They will just test it, change just small things, and that's it. Okay. So and if you're working on a big project, let's say yes, yeah, I don't know, maybe someone asked you to make a social network for them. Um, so you cannot just work in all that changes, features, functionalities, and all that stuff, and just send them. Okay, so you just need to work like more constantly making changes so they can test them, give you feedback, you give them feedback. This needs to be changed and all that stuff. So I don't know if that what you meant. So like which one to choose in at the time of working on one or another. So yeah, it probably depends. Uh, Human. Okay, so okay, let's yeah, that's it. Okay, the continuous improvements, as we explained before, the difference is basically the same. In Scrum methodologies, you just encourage improvement through sprint retrospective. Retrospective basically is when you go back and you just check what went wrong. It's like let's say there's something too called postmortem. If something really bad happens or a huge error happens, you just make a postmortem to see what went wrong, what happened, what it can be improved, just not to happen again. So yeah. So yeah, basically that's the difference between Scrum and Kanban. So Kanban basically it more emphasizes like the continuous improvements as a fundamental principle. So the team encourages to make small and incremental changes to the process. So every task that comes in needs to go out. So you just keep improving and giving some some changes. Okay, so it's more independent than Scrum. Okay, so let's go to an example. Okay, so yeah, basically here just the difference. Let's say this is just a Kanban. I will show you the screen now because I have okay, I have one here prepared. Let's presents share screen. Okay, let me share the screen here. Window. Okay. Okay, I will. Okay, just give me a second. I will just explain this and show you this the example. So in Kanban, for example, we have the backlog. Basically, it's user story. It's basically some features or some improvements. Um, Okay, we have a question here. Let me check. Hello, do you have any comparative studies scientific papers between Agile Scrum versus Kanban? Can you please share the links? Um, I can see if I can find some scientific papers studies between them. Uh, I don't have any at the moment, but I can check it later if you want. Um, the best match. Okay, this is the same question here. Okay. Basic. Okay, so this is a Kanban dashboard. Let's say. Okay, you have the backlog. These columns can be changed. Okay, depends on how do you work. Maybe you can add another one. Develop. Okay, so it's in progress. You can add another one called let's say code review. Okay, so basically, once you have the code, the pull request, you just move it to the code review, and when it's merged, you can move it to developed to make some testing. Well, to test it on the testing environment or whatever. Okay, so basically, it's you have the backlog. Okay, so we have the user story, different features, tasks, whatever you want to call it. We need to work on. So we moved them, for example, and now it's planned. Okay, so let's say we have a meeting. Let me show you. Let me show you the real example. Okay, I think with this example you understand better. Okay, so let's say we have a future one. Okay, this is Trello. Okay, now we have future one. Um, we need to make changes on the login. It breaks sometimes. Okay, let's call it login session error. Let's call it error. Okay, so now we have this one, for example, and the future two will be the comments section error. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the other one can be live stream. Okay, and here we have instead of live stream, let's say um, uh, pictures upload. Okay, so can you see the screen, or can should it make it bigger? Probably you can see it like this. It's okay, the size screen. Let me see the comments. Okay. 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 Yes, it's visible. Okay, great. So now let's say we have all these backlog. Okay, probably it will be like, let's say we have 50 tasks on the backlog, a lot of errors, new things we want to make, some changes, bug fixes. So now let's say we have a meeting. Okay, on Monday or Tuesday or whatever backlog. Okay, what we need to get done. Okay, so let's say Future Five, it's I don't know, add um, business accounts, business account. Okay, so now we need to know what to plan for the week, for example. Okay, so in this case, can you change the language to English? And get okay, okay, yeah, yeah. I can do that. I can do that for sure. Papa, cambiar idioma. Okay, of course I can do that. Okay, language English. It says account preference. Uh, well, I don't know what it said. Let me see if I can change it here. European. Uh, okay. So it says it's in English, but I don't know the. If not, uh, 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 let me see if I can change it. Okay. Okay, I will just explain it. Basically, there's something you don't understand, like probably this descriptions in Spanish. Añadir una tarjeta. Basically, it says add a card. Let's say this will just be a card. Let's say it's these things. Tablero bienvenida. It's a welcome dashboard. Tablero is dashboard. Compartir is share, and these descriptions are in English. So I think you should not get too much confused. So yeah. Okay, so okay, first I think we have click on your avatar initials, the top right corner of the page, so open your user menu. Yeah, I clicked that before. It comes to this one and says language English and time zone Madrid. So I don't know. Well, no worries. Okay, so we have some questions here. Hello. Okay, so hello. What's the difference between sprint and backlog? Okay, let's see it this way. A backlog, it's basically all the things that need to be done. Okay. In this case, we have all these things. Let's say we have 50 different items on the backlog, different issues. So the difference between the sprint, it's basically let's say you have a 2 week sprint. Okay, it's basically a way to say, okay, we need to get all these things done in this sprint. Okay, so it's the backlog. It will be like everything. Let's say it's sprint. It will be like a planned thing with Kanban. This is Kanban. Okay, so this is just a Kanban dashboard example. So let's say in the plan, you'll understand in once I explain the difference between the backlog and the plan. So the sprint, basically you get some different things to get to be done, and you just start the sprint and start working on that. The backlog, basically it's everything that needs to be done, and then you move things from backlog to planned or development or whatever. So yeah. Uh, okay, so hello, how to proceed in order to plan backlog? Thanks, regards. So the backlog, it's as I explained before. You make depends on, let's say, every week. and you have a meeting on Monday or whatever, 1 hour meeting probably. It's called the planning. So you plan. Okay, so this is the meeting. Okay, let's say this is the meeting. This is the meeting. Okay, I'm the manager and start talking with the team and say, okay, we have all these tasks. Okay, what we need to get done this week. Okay, what's the most important thing we need to get done from the backlog. Okay, so login session. Okay, some users have troubles logging to the platform. That sounds like a big issue. So planned. Okay, this will be let's say in this week dashboard. Probably this backlog tab, it's not even shown. Okay, it's hidden. Once you, well, you can see it, but a lot of people just hide it, and because the what you need to know this week is the planned tasks that have to be done this week or these 2 weeks or whatever. So yeah, login, it's really important. Okay, comment section error. Okay, once we see error, it's basically an issue. Okay, so something is not working good. So I'll just put it here because we need to check that out. Pictures upload. So some people are having troubles uploading pictures. That's a problem. So add business account. Okay, look, these two, for example, are more like features than bug fixes. Okay, so we want to let the users live stream. Uh, Sorry, I had a call. Okay, so you have users that you want to allow users to live stream. So that doesn't look like a really, really important issue because they won't even notice if you don't make this feature this week. But people that don't that cannot log in, they will notice because they will have troubles logging, and it's a really bad experience. So okay, this is the tasks. Okay, so now, for example, this is what a task looks like. Okay, so here we have the description. Okay, it's just a sample description. Some users, let's say some users, and we put here two IDs of different users uh, have problems logging in. Okay, okay, so we save this. Okay, we have some users have problems logging. So this will be assigned, for example, to me. Okay, I'll say, okay, I can work on this task. Okay, so now you see here this logo with my initials, ND. Um, it says, okay, now this is assigned to me, and this is the problem. Obviously, the description must have like more information. Let's say the endpoint that's having the error, it's v1 users login confirmation. Okay, let's say this endpoint is not working fine, blah blah blah. You can add dates like deadlines, or let's say the deadline is tomorrow. Okay, we need to get it done in a day. Okay, so now you have this here. uh, why have you added login error description? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. This is my sorry, I didn't see that. um Sorry. Thank you. Just my bad. But yeah, this should go here. Okay, everything has its description. So this, why it's used this, because sometimes some things need to be done before a deadline, maybe because the client wants it before Sunday because they have a really important event and they want to show something on the website really important to that event. So yeah, so let's say it's now assigned to me. Okay, so this task is mine. No one can touch it. Well, at least it's supposed to be. No one can touch it because it's mine. Well, it's not mine, but I'm working on it. Now it's on progress. Okay, this means that I'm working on the task. Okay, so that means that I'm working on it. My manager or supervisor can come and say, "Hey, I've seen you working on these tasks. How it's going? There's anything blocking you? Whatever." Okay, so when things can change is, for example, let's say I don't have too much experience with the comment section and endpoints, and I have a teammate that has worked more with that. We can talk in a daily basically stand up. It's daily meeting you make with the team. It's like 10, 15 minutes, sometimes 20, sometimes 30 minutes, and you just say, okay, what I've done yesterday, what I'm doing now, how can I improve this, and that's it. Okay. So yeah, and if someone wants to take my tasks, I can just put it back into plan, change the assignment. Okay. Okay, now it's not assigned to me. I can just take another one and work on this one. Okay, this needs to be talked with the team why you can resolve this task. Why I don't know. Let's say Baratote needs to work on this. And okay, so you just say in on the daily meeting, you say, okay, I don't know, I cannot work on this because whatever. So yeah, basically, you can say, I don't have too much experience. I don't know how to solve it. I'm blocked. Can anyone can check it? I'm putting. You can take two. Okay, you can assign two, but it's not really recommended. Okay, because once you have two tasks, you're not focused. It will take you more to do that. But let's say you for the picture upload thing, you're waiting for response from another team, and you just don't want to wait like 2 hours for the other team to respond. So you keep working on this one, okay, and this one you're still waiting. There's something called like this, let's call it flags. So we can put some flags on the so each flag has a meaning. So this meaning should be assigned with your team, because okay, so if you're with your team said, okay, the purple one is when we have an issue that we are blocked. Okay, let's say you can create another one called blocked. Okay, let's use the red one. Okay, so now you created this tag, and then from here you can see it red. Okay, now you go to the task and say, oh, okay, this person is blocked because let's say waiting response from support team. Okay, yeah, you just put a comment so anyone who wants to see how the task is going can see the comment. So you say, we're waiting response from support team. Okay, that's cool. I'm waiting for the response. Um, okay, so no questions. If you have any questions, just pop it, please. So yeah, support team. Let's say now the support team just is answering the question. We can also here, for example, tag people. I don't have it's just me internal. Let's say tell you, can you check it, please? The Trello user, let's say it's the support user, okay? Trello, can you check it? And this tag basically mention it will send a notification to the support team or the person whose account is an email saying, hey, you have this new comment. Okay, so this is just to agilize and make it more agile the process. So let's say I just finished the login session error. Okay, and now it's done. So we can add another one. Okay, instead of develop, let's say code review. Okay, because your coders testing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's say you just open the pull request, and you're waiting for a code review from your manager or your teammates or whatever. Okay, so there's some plugins. Okay, for example, that are okay. For example, these ones. Okay, in Trello they're called okay. Okay, they're called power ups. Okay, basically you can connect it with let's say Bitbucket or GitHub. Okay, and once you have a pull request open, it will just show, like, let's say, a tag called, I don't know, pull request open. Okay, so this will be just this blue tag will mean that you have a pull request open. So uh, Aldrade, bless you. Okay, um, maybe is that for someone specific? It's good to be blessed. So maybe it's for someone else, and I'm having illusions. Oh, okay, okay. For the, yeah, thank you. Really, a little bit later. Okay, so let's say you have the code review. Okay, now the code review, you can obviously, if you click on top, you'll have like the description. Okay, but just to make it more, let's leave it like this. Okay, pull request open. Okay, now let's say it's closed. Okay, uh, merged merged. Okay, we have another one called merged. Now this is boom. Now we have the code. Now the changes are merged, and now we move it to the testing. Okay, so we are the owners of this task. So we need to take into account when it's in progress, when it's reviewed, if we need something else, test the new functionalities or whatever, and then there's probably another one here called Q&A. Well, QA, sorry, not Q&A. And then done, let's say. Okay. So now, once you've done the testing and you tested everything by yourself, you move it to QA. Okay. So now it will be in pre-production, and the QA team will just check everything that works well, whatever, and they will just prove it and move it to done. Okay. So now this task is finished. This is the whole process. Okay, you have the blog, the backlog. Now you plan with the team once a week or once every 2 weeks or whatever. Usually it's one a week, once a week, and then you move it into, as you can see, the tasks are individual. Okay, so I can just go here, and let's say I have this one here, and I can just say, okay, I want to work on this one. Okay, obviously you talk with the team and say, hey, can I work on this one? I think I can do it real quick, whatever. So this is the whole workflow. Okay, and let's go back to the presentation. Um, and this is basically the Kanban as I explained. You have different tasks, whatever. So the Scrum is kind of different. Okay, I can make an example with this one, for example, because it's like more sense. It needs like the analysis, all the tasks. It's more complex. So you have the product backlog it's the same thing as the backlog I explained before. Tintin, it's basically a bunch of different things. Okay, and you just say, okay, I'm taking these more prioritized ones, and we'll put it on the sprint. Okay, because they're more prioritized. So now you have the sprint with some issues from the backlog. You cannot make them all. We wish we could, but it's not possible. And then you start the sprint, you make the meeting, and then the iterations. Okay, so you make the changes. Sprint, it takes 2 weeks. Let's say 2 weeks. We have a daily stand up. It's the same as the Kanban. It's something more, just to be updated with the team and have everything in control. So you make a daily stand up saying, okay, I'm working on this. I have some issues with this, whatever. And then you keep working on them. So iteration, if it works, potential shippable product increments. So we can just, well, obviously in this process it's more summarized, but there's a lot of things involved as is explained. So it's explained before, I think. Five. Okay, let me just turn the volume up. Okay. Um, So yeah, basically it's more summarized, but through the workshop, we explain a lot of how Scrum works. You've seen a real example of Kanban dashboard. Kanban, if you're more probably it's used quite a lot. Okay, so probably in your first job you will see something like a camman. Okay, so for example in more junior positions, a lot of times it's better because you get to work into independent tasks, different tasks, and you can start catching up with all the processes, all the workflows and everything. So yeah, so yeah, thank you for joining. Thank you so much for being here, and hope you had fun. You learned something about some agile methodologies and how they work. How to work with them, whatever. So yeah, thank you so much. Hope you had fun, folks. Hope you had fun. Sorry for the voice today. I was quite I'm quite messed up. But yeah, I didn't want to let you down, so I tried to do my best. So yeah, thank you so much. I'm gonna have some some sleep. Yeah, I think someone's coming now. No, okay, okay. There's Dixita. Uh, in a couple of hours. So hope you have fun with the technical interview preparation workshop. And eBay Khan, you sounded fine. Okay, thank you so much. Um, okay, I see some greetings here. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you have any question, don't hesitate. I'll be making another a mini event today. Yeah, today. We'll be playing Chrome Dino mini event. So if you have any question, whatever, you can just ask me at the beginning. I'll try to join 5 minutes earlier. So if you have any question, just ask me there. Okay, no worries. Feel better. Thank you so much. Thank you a lot. Um, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, folks. Hope to see you on the next sessions. I'll take some rest and try to be better for the next ones. Um, your explanations, can you guide me for middle-age fellowship? It's great to have a mentor like you. I wish. I probably maybe in the future. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Look like a totally different person without glasses. Yeah, I can't wear glasses because I have like like I see double with the glasses now because I have some uh, not tears, but when you're a little bit sick with the glasses, I see triple. So I'll be seeing like 5 comments at the time. So that's why I took them off. Thank you so much again, and I hope you'll have fun during the next week. Okay. Um, yeah, allergies make it blurry. Yeah, it looks like a Visual Studio theme, the blurry theme. Okay, thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a great sessions. Hope you learn a lot. And if you have any question today on the mini event, I'll be joining probably five, maybe 10 minutes before, so people can start joining. If you have any question, technical question, no worries. Just ask me before the game. So I'll try to make my best. Okay. Thank you. Gracias. See you in the next one. Thank you so much. Have a great week.